Hey guys, it's Laura from Foodology Geek. Today I'm going to take you through how to do one of my favorite Thanksgiving side dishes. It's the green bean casserole. And I'm going to do it old school, my way, everything from scratch, not like the Campbell's soup. There's no condensed soup in this recipe. We're going to make a delicious mushroom cream sauce and our own homemade French fried onions. So hold on and I'll take you through it step by step. All right, let's get started. You're gonna start with 2 onions. I like to use yellow or sweet onions. So we're gonna peel them and then create thin slices. So you can either slice them in half or you can use the entire onion and make full onion rounds. You can slice them with a mandolin slicer or you can just use a sharp knife. If you do use the mandolin slicer, however, I highly recommend getting the fancy glove. Okay, the next step is going to be to marinate the onion rings in buttermilk. This helps soften them and it will also help in browning when you're cooking them. So we're going to marinate them in buttermilk. You want to season them well with some salt and pepper. Make sure you toss them and then add the buttermilk. You can set this whole thing aside for 10 to 15 minutes while you work on the rest of the recipe. While the mushrooms are marinating, go ahead and bring a large pot of water to boil. You're going to want to add a couple tablespoons of salt, and it's probably more salt than you're comfortable adding, but trust me, it keeps the green beans nice and crisp and that nice dark green color. You're going to bring the water to a boil and then add your green beans. This is a process of blanching, and so we're lightly cooking, lightly boiling the green beans so that when they bake in the oven, they make sure to get done. Once they've boiled for 4 to 5 minutes, maybe even a little bit longer, they should be a nice bright green color. Remove them from the boiling water and instantly plunge them into a large bowl of ice water. This stops the cooking process immediately, and then we can set this aside and move on to the next part of the recipe. Normally, while I'm waiting for my water to boil, I'll go ahead and bread my onion rings and I'll get them in the oven so they can start browning and crisping. So you just want to gently toss them in some breadcrumbs and flour and then spread them on a baking sheet. Sometimes you'll have to use 2. Make sure they have enough room. Give them some oil and then toss them in the oven. Next, we're going to start our mushroom cream sauce. So you're going to start by rough chopping your mushrooms. I like to make them a little bit smaller than bite size. Then finely dice 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. You're going to add a little butter and olive oil to a heavy bottomed pan, and we're going to start by browning the mushrooms. And once the mushrooms are nice and brown, then go ahead and add your garlic and then toss that all together and let the garlic get fragrant. To get started with the cream sauce, we're going to add a couple tablespoons of flour to the mushrooms. You want to make sure and stir all that flour in so it gets incorporated and it's not lumpy at all. After we add the flour and make sure that it's all combined, we're going to add a cup of broth. The broth and the flour are going to combine to create a nice thick sauce. After your sauce is nice and thick, we're going to go ahead and add heavy cream. You can use heavy cream or you can use half and half, either one. This time I actually used heavy cream. You're going to want to stir the sauce in slowly to make sure that everything gets combined. Bring the cream up to a simmer until you have a nice, smooth, and creamy sauce. After your sauce is simmered for several minutes, you can go ahead and add some fresh thyme. This is going to take your green bean casserole to the next level. It just gives it such a nice fresh flavor. Alrighty kids, now it's time to assemble the green bean casserole. So I like to start by cutting all the green beans into thirds. I like it because then all the green beans are bite-sized and you're not wrestling with like a huge long mouthful of green bean. So once you dice everything into thirds, then you can add the cream sauce. So I like to start by adding about a third of the French fried onions to the mushroom cream sauce. Once you get that all stirred in, then you can go ahead and add all of the mushroom cream sauce to the green bean casserole. So just dump it on, and then we're gonna make sure that it's all tossed together. So use a set of tongs, toss all the green bean sauce together, and then we're just gonna top everything off with those nice crunchy onions. Right, it's nice and bubbly. The onions are nice and brown. It's just like I remember, except so it has all the creamy sauce, has nice brown onions, and fresh green beans, not canned or frozen. This is definitely better than the condensed soup version. The sauce has so much flavor. It has so much like fresh, creamy, garlicky mushroom flavor. And it's not too salty. And the onions are nice and crisp. They're sweet. And they're all natural. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Check out more. I'm going to be posting more videos, so if you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe down below and let me know what you'd like me to cook. So next year I'm kind of shifting Foodology Geek and we're going to be doing a lot more video. My goal is to get out a new recipe video every single week. So check out the notes, make sure you subscribe, follow along, and let's get cooking.